Hi guys, Kevlar here, back in MineMogul, and we are doing another test today, but we are in our main factory this time round. So what I plan to do, I guess it's not really a test as such, I want to find out how much each resource is worth in its different variants. So I'm going to stick a analyzer down and send everything through, and yeah, come up with a list at the end of how much everything's worth. Now, I've already done some preparation. I've done the boring hard work of trying to pull 5 of each resource in each of its different states out and got them ready here. That took me absolutely forever because I didn't want to mess around with my actual system, because like I said, this is my main mine, not my testing mine. So I was literally just standing, pulling things off of these conveyor belts as they come in. So yeah, so for example, what I've got is I've got 5 emeralds, polished, 5 non-polished. Same with diamonds, same with rubies, same with iron ingots, gold ingots, copper ingots. I see down there I've got the slag items. One thing I haven't got yet here is the junk pipes, but I can get them. But yeah, anyway, so I'm pretty much prepared. So the plan is I've got 5 of each item, right? Because I've seemed to remember from the start, putting stuff through the analyzer, not everything always comes out at exactly the same price. It's not a set price. See, these are all slightly different shapes and sizes. Maybe a shape size could have an impact. Yeah, I don't know, quality of the ingots, I don't know, but that's why we want to test it, right? So we're going to put 5 through each and then take an average. Obviously, the more I put through, the better the average is going to be, but 5 I think is the limit I wanted to do, because otherwise it's going to take forever. So what else do I want to say before we start this off? So I think it's probably not going to be a huge video, I don't know yet, but I'm not going to take you through watching me put everything through. I'll just maybe give you some highlights if there's anything interesting happening as I'm doing it. Other than that, I'll give you all the results at the end. I've got a little spreadsheet that I'll be updating as I go through. So first of all, let's finish setting this up. We need an ore analyzer in place, because I think I got rid of all of my ore analyzers from here. Yeah. Right, is that a machine or is it a conveyor? Maybe it's a machine. Ore analyzer. Right, let's get one of those. Let's stick it here. Maybe facing this way. Let's get some of these lights out of the way so I've got a area to do it. So maybe we'll put the lights the other side so we've still got some lights. We can see what we're doing, and then we'll stick an ore analyzer in here. There we go. So that is in place. So I will start putting everything through that and logging my results. Okay, one by one, I guess. Let's start off with what I think is the lowest, so crushed coal. Yeah, see, look, it's got weight. That was $1.01, $1.10, I assume that was. So I'll do a few with you here, then I won't bore you with the rest. So let's have a look and see what that one was. 105. That's a bit lighter. So yeah, it's definitely to do with weight. So I might actually write that down, what the percentages are as well, so we can properly calculate it. Okay, third one was 97% at 97 cents. Fourth one, 107 at 107%. So we can see the pattern here, so we know exactly what's going on. So with the coal, it's basically $1 is the average. $1 for crushed coal. Depending on the percentage weight, you get a varying amount. So even if all of those that I've added together, let me just do that now. Yeah, so I'm going to have to change the way I'm doing it, because I've added those 5 together that I've done and took the average, and my average was $1.03. So obviously I had some more higher weight ones than lower. So that's probably not the right way to do it. If it gives me this percent weight for everything, then I can work out the actual cost of 100%, and that's what we're going to go with. Rather than my average calculation, we'll go with what is 100% weight. So in this case, crushed coal, $1. Let's just do standard coal together as well and see if it's the same logic. Yeah, 98% is 195. Okay. That was a big one, 108% at 216. So basically we're seeing a clear pattern here, right? That these ones are going to be $2 for 100%. And yeah, when you crush them and they split into 2 bits of crushed coal, it's basically just halving the cost, so there is no difference really in the value if you crush it or send it through hull. So right, let me just put that on my spreadsheet. Okay, so like I say, I'm going to go ahead and do that with everything. I'm not going to bore you with it all. If anything interesting pops up, I'll let you know. Otherwise, we'll see you at the end with the results. Okay, well, I've only just done my second resource and we've already got some interesting information. So with iron, it's not the same as coal. So the crushed iron ore is $3 a piece at 100%. So if you use the same logic, then you would have thought the full iron is double that, like with coal. But actually, no, it's only $4. So yeah, so it's not the same logic. So we'll keep going through the rest and I'll let you know if I find anything else interesting. Okay, so we've done the same for copper. Again, slightly different results. So it's the same crushed price, $3. As iron, but the full price is $5 instead of $4. So it's still not double, but it is more than the iron. Interesting. So I'm not going to keep stopping and going through each one. So let me get through a load of these and I'll come back and give you a nice summary, maybe halfway through or something, tell you how we're getting on, unless something really jumps out at me that I have to talk to you about. Okay, you definitely can't polish a slag pipe. I just thought I'd do a quick test to see if, because when you put an initial one through, oh actually, hang on. Yeah, look, that, when I put that one through, look, it says it's dirty. Okay, so it's like worth $1 for 100%. That one that I've just pushed through, it has actually taken off these dirty white bits. So I wonder if it's now going to say polished. Yeah, it's polished. And yeah, it's worth more money. Okay, right, I did not realise that because I didn't bring polished ones and dirty ones. I just brought dirty ones because I thought it would be no different. So, do I bother testing? I've been doing, as you can see, maybe let's take a break here and let you know what I've been doing. That is floating now. But yeah, as you can see, I've cleared a lot of this. So I've done a lot of the basic items, polished and not polished. Annoyingly, I've realised that I hadn't brought any unpolished gold plates, pipes and rods, so I need to go and get some unpolished ones. But yeah, I'm nearly there. But let me just get this one through as a dirty one, finish off my dirty slag pipe tests. Not pipe, they're rods. Okay, so we'll come on to these last. We know they're the most pricey items. But yeah, I need to go and get the rest of the gold to test that. I'll go and get more slag so I can put that through a polisher as well. But in the meantime, let's show you the spreadsheet because there is some interesting updates that I should give as we as we're getting through the process. Okay, so right, here are the results that I've got so far, and there's some interesting results, right? This is a bit of a messy spreadsheet at the moment. This is just my raw spreadsheet. I'm going to try and tidy it up for a bit of a clearer viewing at the end. But basically, right, so here we've got our pure resource. So crushed and whole, copper, iron, coal, gold, etc. And we already went through that at the start. So we saw coal kind of, doubled from crushed to full, but the others didn't follow that pattern. But we're still seeing the pattern where coal's the cheapest, then iron, then copper, then gold. Actually, that's for full, but yeah, interestingly, iron and copper were the same crushed, but full, we see the pattern of going up like that. Okay, then we get to ingots. Similar pattern for dirty. Slag is proper cheap, but iron and copper are pretty close. So copper's only a little bit more pricey than iron. Then when we get to polished, this is interesting because actually I haven't tested the polished slag ingot yet, but I assume that's going to be double the value of the dirty one. Like we just said, we just tested the slag rod. But anyway, yeah, so a polished iron ingot is worth more than a polished copper ingot, which is really interesting. Then when we come to rods, similar pattern. Iron is slightly less than copper, I haven't done gold yet. Then when we come to polished, okay, copper is more than iron and gold's quite a lot more. Plates is interesting. Dirty iron plates are worth more than dirty copper plates. And then polished copper plates still worth less than iron. Now pipes is where it's really interesting. So copper is worth more than iron. Haven't done the dirty yet. But for polished copper pipes are even worth more than gold. So gold polished pipes are worth less than copper, which is really weird. So yeah, I'm going to carry on doing the tests and probably try and do something with this spreadsheet to try and make I don't know, a prettier view to try and see the patterns here, because yeah, it's interesting. It's not the same all the way through that gold is the most expensive one. But yeah, let me carry on testing and we'll have a good look at the numbers at the end. Alright, so I've collected the missing items that I needed. So the unpolished gold, the junk pipes, and some more slag, so I can polish those as well and test those. So let me get testing these ones and see what the outcome is, and I'll let you know. I'm only doing one at a time this time. I'm not bothering doing 5 because I know I'm doing it based on the percentages rather than an average. Right, just polishing this junk pipe because the unpolished ones come up as $2. Let's see if this is any different. Okay, let's polish. Let's stick it through. Okay, no, so you can't polish the junk pipes, they are the same. Right, let's polish a slag ingot, because we know that the slag rods actually do get polished, so let's have a look at this. Yeah, you can see it's taking the white bits off of it. Stick it through. That's coming through at $2. I can't remember what the unpolished one is. I assume it was 1, but we'll check that when we do the spreadsheet. So let me now get through all of the gems, and then yeah, we'll come back to you once we're all done with the final spreadsheet. Right, okay, that's every item tested. So here are the results. I've changed the spreadsheet a little bit, kept it pretty simple still, and I put it in the order that I expected it to be in, right? So broken drill bit, I tested, it's a bonus item here, so $3, no difference whether you polish it or not. Then the slag, so slag ingot, $1, and then if you polish it, it is 2. Slag rod, $1, you can polish it for 2. Junk pipe is just $2, dirty or polished. Then we get to the pure ores, so crushed coal is 1, no difference in polishing any of these. So iron is 3, copper's 3, so it's the same. Gold is 4. Then, like I said before, coal seems to double for full coal. Iron doesn't double, it goes up to 4. But then copper goes up a bit more, because obviously crushed copper is the same as iron, but then it goes up a little bit more for full to 5. And then gold, again, doesn't double, goes up 2, same as copper, to 6. Then we get to the ingots. Iron ingot, 20 to 25. Copper ingot, 22, so it's more if it's dirty, but it's less than iron if it's polished. So that's interesting. Iron ingot polished is worth more than a polished copper ingot. Gold jumps up for both, so 40 and 60, so gold's worth more for ingots. Then we come to the plates, so iron, dirty, 30, polished is 34. Copper plates, again interestingly, less than iron, both dirty and polished. And polishing doesn't make a lot of difference with the plates. Well, doesn't really for the ingots either. I got apart from gold actually. Gold plate, yeah, 50, so it's worth quite a lot more. And then polished, 70. Then the rods. So the rods kind of goes back to what I expected. So the iron is less than copper, so 36 and 38, and then polished 40 and 42. And then gold again is higher. Polishing doesn't make a hell of a lot of difference, but gold is worth quite a lot more. Then pipes, back to what I expected with iron and copper, with the iron pipe being worth less than copper, 80 and 90, and then polished you get a little bit more. But then gold, this surprised me, it's less than copper. It's the same as iron, so a gold pipe is the same as an iron pipe, dirty, and then again polished, it's a bit more than iron, but it's less than copper. So copper pipes are the best ones rather than gold. Really interesting. And then the gems, emerald is only 40 and then polished to 70, so it's less than all of the pipes, less than gold rods, only a little bit more than like dirty iron and copper rods, less than gold plate, and the same really as a gold ingot. So yeah, the emeralds aren't worth a hell of a lot. I mean, polished, yes, they're a bit more than some of these bits, but that surprised me a bit. And then a diamond has, I'd say, the biggest jump so far between polished and dirty. 55 dirty, 140 polished. Definitely worth polishing your diamonds. Same with rubies, 70 and 180. But again, interesting. So dirty gems are not worth as much as pipes and some rods and even some plates. So if we look at it in a graph, Sorry, it's very basic. I couldn't be bothered to put too much effort into it. You know, I've spent a lot of my life in my working days doing spreadsheets, so in my fun time I don't really want to spend a lot of time on it, but I've put it in order here. Order of the polished prices. So the blue is dirty and the orange is the polished. So obviously if you look at the end, ruby's definitely our best priced item, which we'd expect, and then diamond next. Massive jump between dirty and polished, and that's where you can see, so the dirty is actually lower than some of the pipes and rods. So copper pipe is third place, which surprised me because I thought you'd see gold here, or even maybe the emerald, but the emerald's all the way down here. So copper pipes are pretty good. Gold rod, yeah, it's gold, it's pretty good. Gold pipe, iron pipe, gold plate. But yeah, I guess it's things like this, like the copper ingot being less than the iron ingot. Surprised me. I always thought copper was probably worth more than iron. Same with plates, but then rods, it swaps over. Copper rods are worth more than iron rods. But yeah, I'd say it's fairly interesting results. It didn't give me exactly what I was expecting. Anyway, I'm sure this information was available somewhere else, probably on the Discord or somewhere. You know, they're obviously fixed prices, but I wanted to have a go at just working it out myself, seeing what they were worth, and then having a look. So that's the results. So anyway, I hope you found that interesting. Please do give us a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.